Sakshurmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranjaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. We are reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā, chapter 5, the activities of Sachi Gopal. And that is text 76. Thus I have called upon a great personality in this transaction. I have asked the Supreme Godhead to be my witness. The entire world accepts the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Taking this opportunity, the elderly Brahmana immediately confirmed that this was really true. He said, "If Gopal personally comes here to serve as a witness, I shall surely give my daughter to the young Brahmana." The elderly Brahmana's son immediately confirmed this, saying, "Yes, this is a very nice settlement." Because they thought, that will not happen, right? Yeah. The elderly Brahmana thought, since Lord Krishna is very merciful, he will certainly come to prove my statement. So the Brahmana, the older Brahmana, he is pious and he has faith. Yes, something good will come from it. It will all be settled. The atheistic son thought, it is not possible for Gopal to come and bear witness. Thinking thus, both father and son agreed. The young Brahmana took this opportunity to speak. "Please write this down on paper in black and white so that you may not again change your word of honor." All the assembled people got this statement down in black and white, and taking the signatures of agreement from both of them, served as the mediators. The young Brahmana then said, "Will all you gentlemen present please hear me? This elderly Brahmana is certainly truthful and is following religious principles. We had no desire to break this promise, but fearing that his kinsman would commit suicide, he deviated from the truth. By the piety of the elderly Brahmana, I shall call the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a witness. Thus I shall keep his truthful promise intact." Hearing the emphatic statement of the younger Brahmana, some atheists in the meeting began to cut jokes. However, someone else said, "After all, the Lord is merciful, and if he likes, he can come." After the meeting, the young Brahmana started for Vrindavan. Upon arriving there, he first offered his respectful obeisances to the deity, and then narrated everything in full detail. He said, "My Lord, you are the protector of Brahminical culture, and you are also very merciful. Therefore kindly show your great mercy by protecting the religious principles of us two Brahmanas. My dear Lord, I am not thinking to become happy by getting the daughter as a bride. I am simply thinking that the Brahmana has broken his promise, and that is giving me great pain." Purport. It was not at all the intention of the young Brahmana to get the daughter of the elderly Brahmana in marriage and thus enjoy material happiness and sense gratification. It was not for that reason that the young Brahmana went to Vrindavan to ask the Supreme Personality of Godhead to act as a witness. His only concern was that the elderly Brahmana had promised something, And if Gopal did not bear witness to that transaction, then the older Brahmana would incur a spiritual blemish. Therefore, the young Brahmana wanted protection and help from the deity. The young Brahmana was thus a pure Vaishnava, and he had no desire for sense gratification. He wanted only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the older Brahmana, who was also a Vaishnava and very devoted to the Lord. The young Brahmana continued, "My dear sir, you are very merciful and you know everything. Therefore, kindly be a witness in this case. A person who knows things as they are and still does not bear witness becomes involved in sinful activities." Lord Krishna replied, "My dear Brahmana, go back to your home and call a meeting of all the men. In that meeting, just try to remember me. I shall certainly appear there, and at the time I shall protect the honor of both you Brahmanas by bearing witness to the promise." The young Brahmana replied, "My dear sir, even if you appear there as a four-handed Vishnu deity, still none of those people will believe in your words. Only if you go there in this form of Gopal and speak the words from your beautiful face will your testimony be heard by all the people." Lord Krishna said, "I've never heard of a deity's walking from one place to another." The Brahmana replied, "That is true, but how is it that you are speaking to me, although you are a deity?" "My dear Lord, you are not a statue. You are directly the son of Maharaj Nanda. Now, for the sake of the older Brahmana, you can do something you have never done before." Sri Gopalaji then smiled and said, "My dear Brahmana, just listen to me. I shall walk behind you, and in this way I shall go with you." Purport. The conversation between Lord Sri Krishna and the Brahmana is proof that the Lord in his Archa Murti, or form made of material elements, is not material for those elements, although separated from the Lord as also part of the energy of the Lord, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Because the elements are the Lord's own energy, and because there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, the Lord can appear through any element. Just as the sun can act through the sunshine and thus distribute its heat and light, so Krishna, by his inconceivable power, can appear in his original spiritual form in any material element, including stone, wood, paint, gold, silver, and jewels, because the material elements are all his energy. The Shastras warn, "Archye Vishnau Śrīla Dihi." One should never think of the Archamurti, the deity, within the temple as stone, wood, or any other material element. Because of his advanced devotional position, the younger Brahmana knew that although the deity of Gopal appeared to be stone, he was not stone. He was the son of Nanda Maharaj, Brajendra Nanda himself. As such, the deity can act exactly as the Lord did. In his original form as Krishna, Lord Krishna was talking to the younger Brahmana just to test his knowledge about the Archa Vigraha. In other words, those who have understood the science of Krishna, Krishna's name, form, quality, and so forth, can also talk with the deity. To an ordinary person, however, the deity will appear to be made of stone, wood, or some other material. In the higher sense, since all material elements ultimately emanate from the supreme spiritual entity, nothing is really material. Nothing is really material. Everything has that vibration of Krishna is there. And for us to practice to get those eyes to see that. That's very nice. It's a very nice practice. Good lesson here. Being omnipotent, omnipresent and omniscient, Krishna can deal with his devotee in any form without difficulty. By the mercy of the Lord, the devotee knows perfectly well about the Lord's dealing. Indeed, he can talk face to face with the Lord. The Lord continued, "Do not try to see me by turning around. As soon as you see me, I shall remain stationary in that very place. You will know that I am walking behind you by the sound of my ankle bells." How sweet that is. "Cook 1 kilo of rice daily and offer it. I shall eat that rice and follow behind you." The next day the Brahmana begged permission from Gopal and started for his country. Gopal followed him step by step. While Gopal followed the young Brahmana, the tinkling sound of his ankle bells could be heard. The Brahmana became very pleased and he cooked first-class rice for Gopal to eat. The young Brahmana walked and walked in this way until he eventually arrived in his own country. When he neared his own village, he began to think as follows.
We read that it took 30 days. No, 3 months, was it 3 months? Que leímos que tomó 3 meses. We read before somewhere that it took 3 months or something from Vrindavan to Vidyanagar by walk.
What is the name of the place?
From Vrindavan
to
Vidyanagar.
Vidyanagar.
3 months or something walking, because they are walking.
We visit Vidyanagar on the Korpunima pilgrimage.
I don't know, I can't remember.
I think so.
We have to check that.
Yeah. "I have now come to my village, and I shall go to my home and tell all the people that the witness has arrived." The Brahmana then began to think that if the people didn't directly see the Gopal deity, they would not believe that he had arrived. But even if Gopal stays here, he thought, there is nothing to fear. Thinking this, the Brahmana turned to look back, and he saw that Gopal, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was standing there smiling. So sweet. The Lord told the Brahmana, "Now you go home. I shall stay here and shall not leave." The young Brahmana then went to the town and informed all the people about Gopal's arrival. Hearing this, the people were struck with wonder. All the townspeople went to see the witness Gopal, and when they saw the Lord actually standing there, they all offered their respectful obeisances. When the people arrived, they were very pleased to see the beauty of Gopal, and when they heard that he had actually walked there, they were all very surprised. Then the elderly Brahmana, being very pleased, came forward and immediately fell like a stick in front of Gopal. Thus, in the presence of all the townspeople, Lord Gopal bore witness that the elderly Brahmana had offered his daughter in charity to the young Brahmana. After the marriage ceremony was performed, the Lord informed both Brahmanas, "You 2 Brahmanas are my eternal servants birth after birth." The Lord continued, "I have become very pleased by the truthfulness of you both. Now you can ask for a benediction." Thus, with great pleasure, the 2 Brahmanas begged for a benediction. The Brahmana said, "Please remain here so that the people all over the world will come how merciful you are to your servants." Lord Gopal stayed, and the 2 Brahmanas engaged in his service. After hearing of the incident, many people from different countries began to come to see Gopal. Eventually, the king of that country heard of this wonderful story, and he also came to see Gopal, and thus became very satisfied. The king constructed a nice temple, and regular service was executed. Gopal became very famous under the name Sachi Gopal, the witness Gopal. Thus Sachi Gopal stayed in Vidyanagar and accepted service for a very long time. Okay, it's not true what I said about the pilgrimage. Here, Swāmī Maharaj, Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Prabhupada said in the purport, this city of Vidyanagar is situated in Trilankadesh, South India, on the bank of the river Godavari. The place where the Godavari flows into the Bay of Bengal is called Kotadesh. The Orissa kingdom was very powerful, and this Kotadesh was the capital of Orissa. It was then known as Vidyanagar. Formerly, this city was situated on the southern side of the river Godavari. At that time, King Purushottama managed to control Orissa and appoint a government. The present city of Vidyanagar is on the southeast side of the river, only 20 to 25 miles from Rajamahendri. During the time of Maharaj Prataparudra, Sri Ramananda Roy was the governor there. Vijayanagar is not identical with Vidyanagar. So, okay, we stop here for today. So, what is the name?
Is there a lot left from that last time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what is the name of that deity? And what is before?
Sachi Gopal. The
Yeah.
witness Gopal.
Yeah, Sachi Gopal, the Lord as the witness. Jai. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā, chapter 5, the activities of Sachi Gopal. Then it goes on further, but in another narrative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about the activities of Sachi Gopal, but some other events happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jai. Śrīla Kṛṣṇadāsa Kavirāja Gosvāmī Maharaj ki jai. Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Śrīla Gurudev. Then we're reading from The Loving Search for the Lost Servant by Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Rakak Śrīdhar Gosvāmī Maharaj.
If you can tell us the page where you are, he's looking at the
Okay.
following.
Yes. Yeah, this page is a little shloka or a quote, and it's very nice. It is similar to what the story. Krishna is infinite. He is the wonderful wonder of wonders. As much as we search him out, that is on page 39, sorry. As much as we search him out, we will find no end to his wonders. So, what we heard in the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Krishna is everywhere, in every atom that is around us. And if we can see that, then we will be all the time full of the wonders, full of wonder of all the wonders, which is Krishna. Even Lord Brahma, the creator of this universe and the original guru of our sampradaya, was astonished by the wonders of Krishna. Then we go to 41, page 41, Brahma's illusion. This is the prayer of Lord Brahma. I offer my prayers unto you, O praiseworthy Lord, who are the child of the coward Nanda. Your complexion is the dark blue color of a thundercloud, and you are clad in silk garments that shine like lightning. Your charming face is adorned with kunjamala ornaments, and your hair is decorated with a peacock feather. You look beautiful, wearing a garland of forest flowers, and that beauty is enhanced by the morsel of food in your left hand. You carry a buffalo horn and a stick for herding cows tucked beneath your left arm. You hold a flute and other emblems, and your feet are as soft as a lotus. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the ultimate cause of all harmony, is so wonderful that simply by approaching him we will be charmed by his ways. He is known as Urukram, for his strides are wonderful, unthinkable, unknown, and unknowable. There is no end to his wonders. At every step towards him, one feels wonder. We find no end to the feeling Krishna is infinite. He is the wonderful wonder of wonders. As much as we search him out, we will find no end to his wonders. Even Lord Brahma, the creator of this universe and the original guru of our sampradaya, was astonished by the wonders of Krishna. Once when Krishna was living in Dwarka, he heard that Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, has come to see him. Krishna asked his messenger, "Which Brahma?" When the messenger put this question to Brahma, Brahma thought, "Are there other Brahmas also? How is it possible?" He told the messenger, "You just informed Krishna that I am the father of the 4 Kumaras, the 4-headed Brahma." The messenger went to Krishna with the news. "Yes, show him in," Krishna said, knowing Brahma's temperament. Brahma went in, but he was astounded to see that so many Brahmas had gathered there from all the universes in the creation. There were 100-headed, 1,000-headed, million-headed Brahmas, all present there, because the whole creation is based on Krishna's hypnotism. The 4-headed Brahmas could see Krishna and all those other Brahmas, but the other Brahmas could not see each other. Each one of them saw only Krishna. Each one of them thought, "Krishna has come in my universe and called for me out of necessity." But the Brahma of this universe could see everything because he had inquired, "Which Brahma? What is the meaning of which Brahma? Are there any other Brahmas? I wonder." In this way, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, was baffled by the wonderful ways of Krishna. Previously, in Vrindavan, Brahma had also some doubt about the position of the Lord. He thought, "Who is this coward boy? His ways are very questionable. He moves in such a way that it appears that he doesn't care for anyone. He is within my Brahmanda, my universe, but he doesn't care to know me. What is this attitude? Who is he? He is not Narayan. Only Narayan is above me, and I am a little accustomed to his ways and manners. But this boy is not Narayan. That anything can exist above Narayan is impossible. Then who is he?" To test Krishna, Brahma took away the coward boys and calves accompanying him and hid them in a cave. After a year, he returned to see how life was continuing in Vrindavan, to see how Krishna was doing without his calves and cowherd boys. And he found that everything was as before. The Lord, surrounded by his cowherd boyfriends, was carrying his flute under his armpit and a morsel of food in his hand. He found everything going on as it had been. Then Brahma began to think, what is this? Have the calves and cowherd boys come back without my notice? He again checked the cave where he had hid them and found that they were all still there. Then he thought, how is this possible? I stole the calves and cowherd boys and hid them here, and now that I have returned, I find they are all still here, just as before. Finally, perplexed, he fell at Krishna's lotus feet, praying, my Lord, I could not recognize you. You have come to play such a plain and ordinary part, that of a cowherd boy. How can anyone believe that you hold an even greater position than that of Narayan? Please forgive whatever I have done. In many places in Srimad Bhagavatam, we find Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, being tested by Krishna. And still, Brahma is our Gurudev. He is the original guru of our line. That he could become bewildered is so perplexing and difficult to understand that Madhvacharya eliminated that section from the Srimad Bhagavatam. He could not accept that those chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Brahma was under illusion, where he had some misunderstanding about Krishna, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted everything in toto. This is a very peculiar thing. How can the original guru of our sampradaya become bewildered about Krishna? It is achintya, inconceivable. Still, everything is intelligible through the philosophy of achintya bheda tattva. Inconceivable oneness and difference. How can we accommodate that our original guru becomes perplexed, not only once, but twice? That is Līlā, a divine pastime. An example of achintya bheda tattva is found in the way Krishna deals with his devotees. Krishna himself is independent of everything. Still, sometimes he shows himself to be completely subordinate to his servants and must do whatever they want him to do. Then again, sometimes he completely ignores them. These are the spontaneous pastimes of the sweet Lord. Sometimes he shows absolute submission to Srimati Radharani. And again, sometimes he ignores her. This is the very nature of Krishna's Līlā. Jai. That is so beautiful. Jai. The loving search for the lost servant, Ki Jai. Jai. Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Rakak, Śrīdhar Gosvāmī Maharaj, Ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Nama Maya Keshavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Nama.
Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudam.
Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudam.
Giridhari Gopinath Madhanamura.
Giridhari Gopinath Madhanamura.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaya Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadara Sri Vasadi Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Tara Guna. Sisi Guru Kuranga Sundara Kavirāja Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Patsila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Gosvāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Patsila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Gosvāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Patsila Bhakti Vedanta Swāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sabhashadasi Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sabhashadasi Mama Prabhu Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Ganga Yamuna Chu Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Sri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Purushottama Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Chu Ki Jai. Jai, all glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai, all glories to the world devotees Ki Jai, Go-Kartas Ki Jai, Sri Ekadasi Vrata Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari.